Hello everyone and welcome to another Digimon Con hype video. This time I'm going to be going over my expectations as well as my wish list for the convention, which is on, as I'm recording this weekend. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, may have already happened. Oh well, but in any case, so back on December 31st of 2021, I went over my predictions for 2022 with the Digimon convention in mind, that they were going to probably maybe announce some things. But now that we have the timetable for DigiCon itself, we can sort of narrow it down a bit, and of course we also have the official hype trailer. So let's see if we can come up with some more realistic predictions and hopes for the upcoming convention. So first up in the timetable is the video game, so Digimon Games Ultimate Information Q&A session. So the hype trailer does show off various older games, as well as some new shots of Survive that we haven't seen before. I hope that this means that we're getting a solid release date for Survive confirmed, but I'm also hoping, especially since we got a few shots of some older Digimon games, that we might also get some ports or remasters of these older games. Ideally, on my wish list, is that we get Digimon World 1, 2 and 3 maybe being ported to current gen, and this could either be a bundle in with Survive, like buy Survive and you also get these games bundled in and they're just ports, not full remasters, but they're just bundled in and they're just ports. Or if we get with Digimon World 1, 2 and 3 coming ported to next-gen consoles and it's available to play now. Mic drop moment, which we have seen it similar sort of things for other games at E3 before or Nintendo Directs, and it's available now. Mic drop. That'd be kind of cool if we could have something that we can play immediately. It may not be Survive, but it's something to kind of tide us over until Survive is actually released, hopefully still this year. So that could be kind of exciting. We also have, obviously, news that we already have, that Digimon Re-Arise is ending in April. Well, late-ish April. So I'm wondering if we're going to get some news about something replacing it. Maybe another gacha game, maybe New Century gets a more international release out of China, or we could get, and this I guess kind of brings us into the next topic, a TCG version of the TCG game that's on your phone or on PC or maybe even Switch, because that Yu-Gi-Oh game that everyone's playing is really hitting up the internet. So what if they decided to have a similar sort of thing, especially with people also, there's what's the new MTGO called? Magic the Gathering Arena? I fell out of MTG at one point and I was really into it and then I wasn't. I just stopped, I guess. I think I got too heartbroken when Spellheart Chimera left the standard format or something. But anyway, back to Digimon. So now we have the TCG stuff, which is basically just a few friendly games between US and Japan friendship match. So I'm not really sure if they'll announce anything, but if they do, I'm hoping for a virtual, an online version of the card game, especially because that's what they're going to be playing on for DigiCon, so it'll be a nice tie-in of and you can download it now, mic drop moment. I really like those mic drop moments of, and it's available now, because then you don't have to wait for some far off date, it's just, you can, available now. I don't know, I really like it. So, yeah, maybe we could get something to replace Re-Arise, or if they're going to go all in with the TCG game. Oh, now I remember what got me out of Magic the Gathering. I built Twin, and then it was banned. That's what got me so salty I quit. Anyway, moving on. So, related to this TCG, I'm wondering if we get the replacement of Re-Arise is just the card game, but on a phone or on any other console. I don't know. But that could be cool, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just them playing this, the TCG game on this video game that we may or may not be getting. But in any case, could be cool. So then we have the illustration contest as well as some live music before going into the real-time double raid battle, which is obviously for the vinyl bracelet. So I'm kind of assuming, half hoping, that we'll get some dim news here too. We did find out about those angelic dims that were meant to be coming out around this time, but because of the Tamers Dims being delayed, those also ended up being postponed, and we haven't heard anything about them since. So it'd be nice to kind of get some news about those Dims here, because we haven't heard anything. The last thing we heard was they are postponed with no date in mind. So it's kind of a shame. But anyway, I'm also, as I mentioned in my 2022 predictions video, is that I'm kind of expecting news of a second Vital Bracelet that drops once Ghost Game finishes. And that is, the current Vital Bracelet is the Digivice V, which is a tie-in with the Ghost Game anime. So I'm wondering if we are getting like a replacement for that for when it ends, because we can't just go back to the original Digital Monster Vital Bracelet because it's lacking in a few of those quality of life improvements that the Digivice V and then the Vital Bracelet character series ended up improving. And they also had the firmware update, which sadly disallows you from resetting the dim locking, so that kind of sucks. But I am expecting them to release a new Vital Bracelet, whether or not it's just the Vital Bracelet Digital Monster with all the Digivice V improvements, I don't know, or if it's something that has those improvements plus more improvements, like, I don't know, waterproofing or something. I doubt waterproofing. That would make it more expensive probably, but it would be nice just to have another Vital Bracelet, honestly. Just I want Bandai to continue this as long as possible, because when they do discontinue it, that means the app will die, which is a shame. But anyway, so there's the Vital Bracelet and the raid is done. We all raid together. It's an hour-long raid. The winning team, as I mentioned in my YouTube short video, will get the prizes. So I'm saying Team Do Your Boromon, so let's go with that. But then after that, we move on to the anime discussing. Discussing? I meant to say discussing, and then I said discussion. Discussing. There we are. So, of course, there's been the rumours about the Adventure Colon English dub, so maybe we get news of that here. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't, because it's more of a Japanese as well as English, but they could still mention it, and maybe some new merch. Of course, we do have the 02 movie that's coming out, which we still don't have a date for. We only have that teaser trailer from, I believe it was DigiFest last year, so August. So I'm kind of expecting some more news about that. Maybe we get a release date. I don't think it's going to be available now because that's more a video game thing, but it would be cool. Yeah, so I'm expecting more 02 movie details, maybe some poster art with a release date, maybe some international release information, I don't know, but that's what I'm expecting to come from this segment most of all, as also what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm also wondering if we get, and I'm hoping that we get a Ghost Game episode count, just because it'd be nice to know how many episodes we are being set up for. Maybe we could have more of a preview from what's coming up in the show, or maybe more merch, maybe more Vital Bracelet news comes here, I don't know. It could kind of tie in, but honestly, I'm expecting it to be more adventure specific, especially with the 02 movie coming out. But of course, they obviously will mention Ghost Game because it's the current airing season of Digimon. Then we have more TCG stuff here, more of that friendship match between the US and Japan. And then we have more music, and then we have the closing segment. But then, of course, it doesn't end. It has an additional segment after the closing segment. We get worldwide and new product information. Now, this could be where they slip in all the new DIMs, updates and stuff here, and all the new Vital Bracelet news goes here, because they might have just kept the Vital Bracelet raid segment just for the raid and not for any news, so the news could just come from here. I'm expecting details of the second version of the Digital Monster X to come here, especially because that's being released next month. And we could also have a preview of the shells for the third version of the DMX, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it is not mentioned at all, especially because we haven't even had the second version released, and that, again, releasing next month, so a few weeks after this convention. And we didn't find out about the second version until well after the first version was released, so I'd be surprised if we got anything about the third version. But we could have a bit of a hint, like maybe like a silhouette saying, and then DMX3 coming eventually, and we don't know anything about the shells. I don't know, maybe a little bit of a hint. But either way, I wouldn't be too shocked if we got one over the other. I'm not expecting them to announce any other virtual pets here. If anything, if we didn't get any Vital Bracelet news in the earlier VB segment, I'm expecting it to go here, especially with those angelic dims, or a potential Vital Bracelet too. So I'm guessing that would go here as well. And we might also get some more details about the Super CSA that's coming out for the D-Arc Digivices for Tamers. We've seen a little bit of the game, well, quote-unquote gameplay of them, a few of the animations that we get, so they could just be more rehashing of that animation content, or we could know more about how the cards function with each other, as well as the special secret features that happen if you have more than one. They could do a few things there, especially because that does count as new product. Overall, I wouldn't be too surprised if they don't announce anything that we don't already know about here, except for obviously the video game segment, which seems to be the biggest part. It's where they were asking for the most input from the community in various languages. They were just asking what questions do people have, and it's a full QA segment. So I'm expecting more information from that, and not so much for the rest of the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any new things announced, except for the angelic dims, which were announced previously. So I'm not really expecting too much more to be announced other than stuff that we already know about the overall existence of, but it's really nice to hope, and with all that nice footage of the older games, I'm hoping they're not just saying that, hey look, we have other games and now we have Survive. I'm hoping that we get a port or something, because I only have Digimon World 2 in Japanese, and I'd really like to play it in English as well, because whenever I come across vocab that I don't know, I look it up, and that really takes me out of the game. I like to do more game than learning. So those are my hopes and predictions for Digimon Con, which is now in a few days. What are you hoping from DigiCon? What are your predictions? Are you excited? Do you feel like it's going to be fairly lackluster? Are you going to watch the whole thing, or just segments? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, and of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm checking out those analytics, and it says that about 20% of people are actually subscribed who watch my stuff, so the rest 80% of you, please subscribe, help out the channel, and of course check me out on various other social media platforms. I'm everywhere I can be found, very easily stalkable on the internet, so do all that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!